All right. So I've thought of a couple ideas here, right? Namely, I'm thinking about loot routes and budget guns. Okay, like what's a gun that later in wipe most people don't use, but still really cheap? And that's the shotgun. All right. Now I'm thinking if you're a shotgun user, especially a pump action shotgun user, you could still use buckshot and have the weapon be pretty effective. Now, this is what I'm thinking, all right? If you have a pump action shotgun with AP 20, you might be able to one tap an enemy, okay? Now, they have a new thermal reflex sight, which is pretty small. Um, that probably isn't a very good sight for long range fights, but short range is a possibility. And then if you don't want to use thermal, uh, shotguns are perfectly good to hip fire or point fire in this case. And this leads me to my second point is that what's the one thing that buckshot has that other guns don't? And that's spread, as pellet spread. You don't have to be super accurate with buckshot, which means, especially with the new smoke grenades, you could possibly use them pretty effectively with thermal or just shooting through the smoke at noise. And this leads me to the other part. If you're purely focused on looting, the shotgun may be your best bet because say you get into a gunfight, you toss a smoke if you're pinned or whatever. Maybe you have the thermal on your shotgun, you know, and that's gonna allow you to shoot through the smoke at the target. And say you hit them in the legs. All right, first off, if you don't kill them, then at least you have the possibility of hurting them, cracking their leg or something. Now, if you're not going for kills and you get a buckshot hit on their leg and take their leg out, they're not going to be able to chase you anymore. And at that point, you can run off and get more loot. And this, I think, is an interesting dilemma. So I think the Mossberg is probably going to be the best for that. But hold on one second. What we got going on here? So we got some more stuff there. It also makes me very tempted to run. Um, okay, it looks like we got our RPK back, but the guy disassembled our gun for some reason. We also got back our M4, level 4 armor, our M4s. We got back the shotgun, double barrel. I mean, we got back a lot. We got back this right here, which probably would be a decent gun for us to use for a little bit. Looks like they took the optic off of our gun here, although it's right here. So I'm guessing somebody looted our stuff and then died, and then it got left behind. All right. Anyway, so we got 3 days on that. Let's go back up here. So we got a day left on these. A day left on all those. Okay, so I'm not super worried about it. So we're gonna look at this real quick. So we need, let me look at this real quick. Special thermal imaging camera for the Ultima modification for the MP155 shotgun. The image from the camera is displayed on the front display on the back of the weapon manufactured. So this is for the 155 shotgun. Ultima polymer stock. Okay. All right, let me look at the 155 real quick. Is that what we're using right now? This is the 153. 155. All right, so we can get a thermal sight for the 155, and that's going to be the rapid fire shotgun. That could be possibly a really good option. I'm thinking that these two are going to be basically the best. So the 5.5, and then we have the Mossberg. But so if we use this, we're going to have to get the Ultima. To get some ergonomics. All right, so this right here would be 20K by itself. So basically the cost of 2 shotguns. Or we have to get a quest. And then we have to get this. Which is another 3K. Okay. And this is the Ultima pistol grip. I don't think the cost would be that bad. Okay. All right. So we can also get this, which is a tiny thermal reflex sight, which seems, I mean, it's 40 or 50K for this. So it might be better for us to use the other one. Say that's 54K where this is 28K. And then we get this on top of that, so it's cheaper. Let's see what we can come up with here in a second. I'm just going to sell this helmet. All right. So let's go in here real quick. We'll grab ourselves a MP155. All right. And then we will grab ourselves thermal. And then we have to have this polymer stock. So this is 2K. Okay. 5, 6K. 8 to 9K. 13 to 14K. Which puts it right about 52K or something, right? Overall, looks pretty badass, if I do so say myself. Link search ammo. Alright. I don't know why my scab's refreshing, but let's try this out real quick. This also poses to my other question. Is it worth it to bring a scav junk box or maybe a food container into a raid with you? So my thinking is if you bring a big bag and then you put a scav box or something inside of it, you leave the insurance in there, and then from that point you would be able to basically drop the big bag, then put a secondary small bag inside, take the small bag with you, or the big bag, either way, and then collect items and bring it back to the scav box, and then leave raid later.
скотина, тварь! Вот ты целый! Ага. Вылезай! Да сделай нахрен, вылезай! Сука ты, блядь, не упырь, блядь, гнида, блядь! Вон!
That's interesting. I can aim without aiming right here. On the side, that's... Wait a second. Wait.
Вот тупый!
Trippy.
Иди, идиот, трахать тебя и всю семью, говно собачье! О, ёб, граната! Сука! На, брат, жри, сука! А ты кепка ебаная!
Oh, that didn't work. I was trying to see if I could pick it around the corner. Choke adapter gives accuracy, recoil, muzzle velocity. And then we can get 8% accuracy. Alright, so you can get 8% accuracy if you want to do that. Okay. This one just gives heat reduction. .5% accuracy. Let's do the cheap one. I don't know how that optic would work like during a night raid. That's kind of confusing to me, but I guess we'd have to see. Okay. Now we come in here. We grab, what is the Mossberg? Right? So that's 31,000. Apparently we could have got it cheaper, but the durability is a little bit wonky. I mean, it depends on if I think, I mean, you're saving 10K if you do that. I guess it depends on if you want, because I mean, you could get this one 3 times as cheap, but it's not going to be as reliable because they're all like 40%. Anyway. So this would put us right at 50 something K right here. Low to level, we can get this at level 3 for a lot cheaper. So I mean that's something right there. Okay. So for right now, I don't think this is cheap enough because this right here is the cost of 2 guns. And then on top of that, you got to get the thermal. Well, my thinking is right now is like, let's say the food container, for instance. You bring 2 bags, you bring in a food container, you drop it off near spawn. right? You take your second bag, you go loot all the food items, you bring it back, drop it back off in the food container. Okay, from that point, you could go and collect other items. Ooh, this looks terrible. How does...
Гнида! Пыль. Пацаны, окружают! Вон он, сука! Вылезай! Вылезай! Вот ты шалава! Сдохни, тварь! Вот гнида!
See, but it's also... 40K or something for something that basically replaces night vision? Maybe?
Гнида! Хуйло, вот хуйло! Конечно! Вот тупырь! Сука ты, блядь, тупырь, блядь! Вот он! Хуйло ты, блядь, а ты хуйло ты! Конечно, блядь! Вот ты петух! Ты куда пошел? Ох, ёб, граната! Вот тупырь! Негодяй! Гад, иди сюда, ты говно, жопа! Жри, сука! На, блядь, жри, сука! Хуйло ты, блядь, а ты хуйло ты, конец тебе, блядь! Ты засранец вонючий, мать твою, а? Ну иди сюда, попробуй меня трахнуть! Я тебя сам трахну, ублюдок! Ублюдок, мать твою, а ну иди сюда, говно собачье! Решил ко мне лезть? Ты засранец вонючий, мать твою, а? Ну иди сюда, попробуй меня трахнуть, я тебя сам трахну! Ублюдок, анонист чертов! Будь ты проклят! Иди, идиот, трахни! Вонючий, дерьмо, сука, падла, иди сюда, мерзавец! Негодяй, гад, иди сюда, ты говно! Жопа! Анонист чертов! Будь ты проклят! Давай, мочи! Ах ты шалава! Руки тупят тебе, служивый! Нормально, охуенный там под зеринки. Похоронный, правый похоронный. Вон он, сука! Сука ты, блядь! Вот ты петуха! Хуйло ты, блядь, а ты хуйло ты! Вот тупырь! Ну, блядь, сожри, сука! Вот ты петух! Вот ты шалава! Вот тупырь! Дохнина, тварь! Быстро! Вали хуесоса! Хуйло, вот хуйло, конец тебе!
So this is better for looking around corners.
Интересно, до скольки телескопчик работает? Голова! Опы!
Interesting. So what this is telling me is, first off, I don't know which is better at range. I'm gonna say the Mossberg, I feel like, is better. Namely because once we get it's kind of split because the thermals, it depends on the thermal price because the thermal is more expensive for that gun. Um, but the Mossberg thermal appears to be better for peeking around corners. Well, I mean, I could use the thermal on the other gun, so I guess it really depends on these two weapons. So if we look at the stats, Mossberg is a little bit heavier with this railing. Shotguns seem to work okay with thermals because you don't need 280s to use a shotgun. Um, let's see here. Muzzle velocity, about the same. Horizontal recoil doesn't really matter. Vertical, MP155 is a little bit cheaper. Sighting range, accuracy. So the 155 has a higher accuracy rating and a higher ergonomics, but it also has a lot more attachments on it. Realistically, I mean, this is all you need on the 890, so I'm fine with this. It has the benefit of always being active on your gun, so it's sort of like night vision, but thermal vision and short range thermal though. I mean, so close quarters, dark areas, I think this would be fine. It seems like the perfect optic for a shotgun on both cases. This one's a little weird because it's like floating in the air, but it does have like a sci-fi look to it. Um, Now we got to look at the cost. So for this right here, it's 31,000 for the gun, 23,000 for this, which puts it, until we get the other thing. So that's 54 to 55,000 there, and then we are getting this thermal optic. So about 100,000 for all of that. This other shotgun, 35,000 for the base shotgun. And then you need 3,000, so it's probably about, 39. All right, that's 39, and then we're going to be looking at about around 50, 39. Now we're looking to be around 66 to 67, maybe a little bit higher. $73 to $74 maybe. I don't think we need the butt pad. So it's cheaper to run the MP155 at the moment, but it's not as good peeking around corners. So that is a toss-up. Now, the other thing that we could do here, so basically when this Mossberg becomes, when we get the next level of mechanic, this is going to drop down to 6,000, so it'd be 31,000 for the gun, 6,000 or so, so it'd be 37, 38,000, and then the side on top of that, which would put it right around 70 to 80K, which is expensive, but puts it right around on par with the MP155. All right. So now we got to try the final version. We're going to see if it works anyway. So we're going to go to mechanic, go ahead and sell these. And then we come back over to Jaeger. And we're going to need the 155. Okay. 155 shotgun. And then we need to do a link search. Do a magazine real quick. We'll grab the bigger magazine. Look for some mounts. So we can get a top rail here for 15K, or we can get, what is this? Something for 3K here. Okay, so we got that. We got this. And now functions, sites, special sites. Okay. And now we can put this on here. All right, so this gives us 35,000 for the base gun. About 50,000 or something here. So I mean that's about 80,000. But that's just the cost of the site. So the real difference here is that this one you can buy 2,000 something. And so 5,000 or so, and then plus the site. Whereas this one is going to be 6,000 or so plus the site. But you can also get a choke and some other things for this. So right now these two are about the same amount of money. So I'm going to go ahead down here, drop the shotgun off, grab the MP155. That's a little bit upgraded. Okay, so we got another 20 something minutes before we can get any more of that. All right, now we go here, here, factory. Now the real thing is that the optic, I don't think people would. I don't know if people would be interested in the shotgun. I think you would get the shotgun back in insurance, but the optic, I don't think you would. However, if they're not taking the shotgun, you would be saving 30 something thousand every time that you use it, which would pay for the optic.
Пацаны! Конец, блядь! Ах ты, шалава! На, блядь, набери, сука! Давай, мочи их!
I don't know, this gun could destroy right here.
А вот тут вот телефон было. Левый коронный, правый похоронный.
So right here,
Ах ты хер ебучий!
I mean, you could see it right there.
Упырь! Блядь, берца щеми! Щеми, берца! Ты куда? Вали хуй!
I don't know how practical that would be. Guess we need to find a test subject real quick. Speaking of which. Interesting.
Пацаны, щемись! А ты чё там пиздишь? Блядь, ебать его!
I think 155 is the way to go. I mean, it's going to be super deadly close range if someone gets up on you. 8 rounds of Magnum rapid tap. I don't think it gets much better. Possibility of a choke. Probably not going to lose the shotgun. If you do, I mean, it's 31,000. If you don't, I mean, it pays for the optic. If they take the optic, they can't sell it on the trading post. How much does it sell for the trader? I don't know. You're going to lose the optic every time. You're 100% losing this optic every time that you die. But if they don't take the gun, you're going to be basically saving the same amount that it would cost. So instead of buying the gun, you're going to be buying the optic. That's a hard call. I really, I don't know. But it gives the shotgun so much versatility. I think you have to use it. Like even daytime raids, that is a big like being able to see around a corner. That's a huge advantage. But that's like any gun, not even just this gun. I mean, that's any gun. Being able to see around the corner and pop shots with the thermal. Which begs the question, what's the cheapest gun? It has to be this, right? I mean, 30K for... I mean, it's something that we can basically get for free. I mean, unless you use a pistol. But the value of a pistol isn't the same as... Plus, people could take a pistol. You could do a Mosin. See, these are all like 30K, which is fine, but I mean, you're spending 30K on a gun. You want a gun that people aren't going to take. And shotguns seem to fit that bill for the most part. What other optics do you have? Two horse statues for a VPO is still the same as an AKM. Car keys. Still going to be about 30K. Saga 9. 19,000? Or like 16,000 here? Shoots 9x19. Single fire. I mean, people can fold it up maybe and put it away, but I mean, we could use the UMP as well. Alright, let's go skier real quick. Filter by item. We can buy these for 9K. People also can get these off of Killa, so we might be able to get a max durability one. But it doesn't look like it. So we'll go Saga 9, 16K. Now what can you do to this? We have 15 extra K to play with. I mean, it has a recoil. Charging handles, muzzle device. You can get suppressors. So, I mean, we could get a 15K suppressor and it'd be the same price as the other guns. See stocks and chassis, receivers and slides. So that's a regular dust cover. So we can get this right here for 2K. All right. Okay. What is this? Loyalty level 3, we can get these from Mechanic for 300K or 100 and something K. That's nuts. I think this is going to be a limited item. This is the price is going up. All right, so this right here is like 18, 19K with nothing else attached to it. Now, the only disadvantage to this is that you have to have a rig for the magazines. Was this 20 round? Yeah, that's 20 round. Get 30 round that we can get. We'll get 4 of these. Alright, but think of all the times that something like this. So a normal optic you can't see around corners with. The biggest downside to aiming around a corner and just randomly spraying is that you can't see. This optic, you're able to look around the corner. You can look around the corners, people. Do you know how valuable that is? I don't like that there's little red...
What the? Ах ты шалава!
I think it probably works better on the shotgun, if we're going to be honest. Now, what I would say is that the optic does look really small. So if someone's not paying attention, they may glance over this because they just see this saga and it just looks like a piece of the gun.
Ах ты ебагло! Левый коронный, правый покоронный. Ох, граната! Что, забыл, что тебе батон в будку закидывает? Ах ты, хер ебуть!
Oh, caught a hit!
Врубай, батя!
Interesting. I don't think it's as good as the shotgun. I mean, the recoil is really low, but when you have to have precision aiming, I don't think this works. Because I think there's a delay on the optic. But yeah, this is the two things that I'm thinking about. One is efficient looting gear that would let me get the maximum amount of money out of a raid when you do money raids, and that really boils down to shotguns and SKSs. Shotguns are better versus the scavs. Shotguns don't require ammunition slots, really, besides your pockets. Um, Shotguns take up one weapon slot. Shotguns aren't as valuable as other guns, so it really just comes down to the optic. As long as I can keep getting the shotgun back, you have the potential to just hit someone in the leg and disengage from a fight. You don't have to be as accurate with rounds when you're using buckshot. And the biggest downside to buckshot is that um, if you're in a direct firefight with somebody, you can't outgun them generally. So the thermal, being able to see around corners, all that's going to be really good. These thermals aren't really good enough to be used on automatic weapons because, I mean, you could use them on an automatic weapon, but there's a delay. I have to look at it real quick. I don't know. T12W thermal optic. I don't know what the refresh rate is on this, but it seems like there's a delay. So I'm thinking there's probably a delay on there. And we'll try this raid again. Now, also, I would say another thing to factor into this is up close killing potential. On the off chance that someone does get next to you, how fast could you kill somebody? And with this gun, I have to use PSO. I'm probably going to have to land headshots. Okay. And then on top of that, the ammunition isn't doing much damage. Buckshot, it spreads. Okay, with the MP155, I'm going to be able to rapid fire somebody's knees if they come near me. So I mean that's tremendous threat potential right there, going down. This side is not perfect because there's heat signature spots that just pop up like that. Like, what is that? There's nothing there. I mean, it's fine versus like a stationary target. I don't think it'll work versus anything else though. I think what we're gonna have to do is what I can say overall, it's 40 to 50K for something that's night vision, or like you can use it at night. It replaces night vision. It's not on your face, which require like allows you to wear a face shield. Um, if you get the gun back that you're using it on, it pays for the cost of the sight. As long as they're 40 to 50K, if they go up to mechanics price of 100K, that's going to be a lot. I mean, even then, if you're getting your gun back, you're still paying 40 or 50K for the sight. Like if you get your gun back every time, that's 30 to 40,000 or whatever right there back in your pocket, and then you're paying, the 60K for the optic, and you're still saving the money for the night vision. Like, does that make sense? Plus, you can see around corners, which you can't do with night vision. But we'll try this out a little bit more. I'm going to restart the stream and then post this just kind of on YouTube and such, and we'll talk about this more. I'll be testing this probably the next few days. I like the idea. It's going to be a whole new style of gameplay. It's going to be very difficult for me to kind of adapt to, but I think it's going to allow us to use so many more of the Tarkov mechanics that people just don't use very much of, or at least can't use effectively. Close quarters engagements, being able to like just the fact that you can have this optic. Okay, so you have a $30,000 gun. Even if you're paying 100K for the optic, that's still going to be on par with night vision. And then say you're on like interchange or something, you get into a firefight, you have to go prone behind cover. Now you can lift your gun up over the cover and then thermal vision them and shoot across. The possibility of thermal, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I think it's going to be possible.